Hello and welcome to Newsday on the BBC World Service with Bola Mosuro and James Copnell.
Our top story today: is it time for a renewal of the special relationship? President Biden is in the UK and will meet with Prime Minister Johnson as the two nations move on from the Trump years.
Also, a report has just been released showing labour around the world has increased for the first time in 2 decades, with 9 million children now at risk due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
And the confrontation at the top of the world. China and India have tens of thousands of troops facing off across the high Karakoram mountains.
During winter, our people from here and nearby Trishul area used to graze their livestock in the mountains on the other side. But over the years, the Chinese have gradually taken over our territory and the grazing areas have reduced.
We'll have more after the latest world news.
Hello, this is Danielle Yałowiecka with the BBC News. On the opening day of his first overseas trip since taking office, President Biden is with the British Prime Minister Boris Johnson. Ahead of their meeting in Cornwall, Mr Biden stressed the importance of rebuilding alliances between democracies after the turbulent years of Donald Trump's presidency. In an address to US troops in eastern England, he said a G7 meeting hosted by Mr Johnson this week would discuss cybersecurity and a renewed phase of high-profiling attacks.
With the G7, we plan to launch an ambitious effort to support resilience and development around the world by investing in high-quality, high-standard physical, digital, and health infrastructures. We have to make sure that new technologies and norms of conduct in cyberspace are established, including addressing the growing threat of ransomware attacks. They're governed by our democratic values, not by the autocrats.
The world's biggest meat processing company, JBS, has admitted that it paid an $11 million ransom to resolve a major cyber attack. Hackers caused several of the Brazilian firm's plants to shut down nearly 2 weeks ago. Here's Rory Gallimore.
JBS's chief executive in the United States, Andre Nogueira, described the decision to pay as very difficult, but he said it was the right thing to do to prevent any risk to customers. The transaction was reportedly made using Bitcoin. JBS says its investigations so far show no data has been compromised. Last week, the FBI blamed a notorious group based in Russia for the attack, saying it was working to bring the hackers to justice.
More charges have been brought in Myanmar against the former leader Aung San Suu Kyi, whose government was toppled by the military in February. Ms Suu Kyi already faces a number of charges, including violating Myanmar's Official Secrets Act. Jonathan Head reports.
3 months ago, the military junta broadcast filmed confessions of the tycoon and a former chief minister from Yangon, Suu Kyi, large quantities of cash and 11 kilograms of gold. Now the military has filed criminal charges based on those confessions and added another allegation that she improperly allocated land for the charity she founded in her mother's name. The deposed Burmese leader has appeared twice in court recently to face 5 other charges. She's reported to have been moved from her house to an undisclosed location, along with her ally President Win Myint.
Final results from a scientific trial in Indonesia to combat fever, so it can be sharply reduced by an experimental technique using bacteria. Scientists in the city of Yogyakarta released millions of mosquito eggs infected with Wolbachia, which is harmless to humans but prevents the insects from passing on. Results show a 77% cut in infections. World News from the BBC. Officials in the Indian city of Mumbai say at least 11 people, most of them children, were killed when a building collapsed in heavy rain. Rescue efforts are continuing. There are fears more people could be trapped beneath the rubble. Several others were injured and taken to hospital. The United Nations is warning that after decades of decline, child labour is rising again worldwide. A new report says the number of children working has reached 160 million. More than half of them are aged between 5 and 11. UNICEF says school closures and millions of children into work. Guy Ryder is the Director General of the International Labour Organization.
It's destroyed a lot of jobs, it's reduced labour need,